Hey, Brandon.
Hey, Nathan.
What's on your shirt there, my friend?
Jogathon Lighthouse.
Oh, yeah, it's a local Christian school that
They have
both
a jogathon
you guys
today.
kids go to.
Yeah.
And I went to when I was a kid.
And I teach AP Lit there.
That's right.
That's right.
Hey, Jake.
Any of my students are
Hey.
watching this. Hi.
Now, that's a pretty famous shirt. I know I've referenced that shirt before on the bookening.
It's about the most boring shirt I own.
I think
Standard white and gray gingham.
it's stylish white and gray gingham, you should say. I like it.
Guess what, Nathan?
Yes, sir.
I have never worn this shirt before
Oh, really?
because I got this shirt today.
The Lighthouse Jogathon? Is there a
Yeah.
Jogathon coming up?
I've learned that
I'm happy
everything
to.
I wear is stylish and hipster
Yep.
because I wear it apparently or something.
I can confirm that is true. Enjoying a delicious Coke Zero there, Brennan?
Very delicious.
You know what? I don't want to tip our hand on Narnia, so I have nothing to tell the paywall people right now.
You know what I have to tell the paywall people?
What's that?
Two things. I'm going to give this to you because you're behind the paywall, but we're not going to give it to anybody else. I want to give a brief apologia
Mm-hmm.
for our takes on Lewis and Narnia so far.
Cool.
And so I've got two things that I want to say about that, about it all. After Nathan gets done
Yep.
doing
Sorry,
his business.
I'm pouring myself a
off
delicious Coke
camera.
Zero here. Here, let me the audience can be part of this. Yep. There's some photographic evidence. Check the wedding ring. I'm married as of a couple months ago or whatever. Okay, Jake, Apologia for Narnia that no one who doesn't pay for it will ever get to hear.
Yeah.
So
Which makes me very happy.
Two things. If you actually listen, and I trust that you guys actually listen to our episodes, we say over and over again that we actually love these books. We love C.S. Lewis. You should know that we love them because you've listened to other episodes of the Bookening where we talk about our love of C.S. Lewis, our top, most influential books in our lives.
How many times have
We
I name
listed
dropped
Narnia.
that Charn Bell thing? Like I must have said
Right.
that a dozen times on
Oh.
various Warhorn
But
podcasts.
here's the
My-
problem with kids' books in general. They're very simple. And so this is the first thing I would say is they're very simple. So what can you say about them that's positive beyond I love it, it's fun, it's enjoyable, it's got some good character lessons maybe, but even those are really simple. You can't say a whole lot.
And they tend to kind of repeat from book to book. So once
Right.
you've kind of gotten through wardrobe, it's like
It's the same kinds of things, right?
somebody's gonna forget to clean their sword.
Okay, so what's interesting then? If your job is to hold people's attention and to be interesting and to figure out what's interesting to say about these books, what's interesting is the points of conflict. It's the places where you disagree. It's the parts where they're bad. And guess what? Lewis has a philosophy that's bad, and it infiltrates these books. So that's what we end up talking about. But that leads me to my second point, which is people aren't listening when we say and mean that we love this stuff. And part of the reason for that is this is a literature podcast, and so it's for literature lovers.
Right.
Lovers have a hard time being willing to look the things they love full in the face and see the things that are bad about them. Love wants to turn a blind eye, but that's not Christian maturity. And that's elevating literature to a place that it doesn't belong.
Right.
That's idolatry. Love is willing to look our mother, our lover, our children, our church, our stupid little books in the face and see not just what's great about them, but also what's not so great about them and still love them. You can be critical of things and see the things that are bad about something that you love, and recognizing that, talking about it, doesn't mean that you love them less. I don't love Narnia less for all of the things that we've talked about Narnia throughout all of this stuff. I love Narnia. It's a special place to me. It was a special place to me as a kid. It's special for my kids. I'm not trying to spoil or ruin that for them. But, you know what? It's not perfect. And it's got some really bad, insidious stuff. And that's what's interesting to talk about, Narnia. What's interesting to talk about is Jesus and Aslan, and what's bad about that. What's interesting to talk about is all of the Neoplatonism throughout all of it. So, that's it. That's all I want to say is you got to have the faith to look at the things that you love and be critical of those things and be willing to see. I mean, so much of the problem of the world today is people who are just unwilling to see what they see when they look at themselves in the mirror, when they look at their lovers and their children, when they look at their mothers. And that's not faith and that's not maturity. And it's not love. Love is willing to see what it sees and still love. So, there, that's what I have to say about that.
Brandon, your thoughts?
On what Jake had to say?
Or anything, really?
I mean, I think that Jake
Gonna be a jerk and just change the subject. I guess you
I'm
can.
not going to change the subject. I think that Jake's absolutely right. That one thing is people do need to take us seriously when we say we love Lewis. Maybe this will only be what the paywall who get to know people who get to know this. My son, Elliot, his middle name is Lewis. And it's not after Lewis Carroll.
You also have a son named Jack.
I also have a son named, that's right. My son named Jack and my son named Elliot, they both are named after C.S. Lewis. C.S. Lewis has had a significant part of, not my childhood, and that's one of the things that people need to realize. When I come at C.S. Lewis, I'm coming at him with no nostalgia. But I love Narnia, and guess what? You may or may not find out that the last battle, oddly enough, kind of reignited the magic for me with Narnia. Maybe. We're not going to spoil anything here.
It's also possible that my first two kids' names are Peter and Lucy. And that my third kid's name, Ian, I had a bunch of people fooled thinking that was short for Caspian.
Yep.
There you go. And I plan to name my first kid Reepicheep, so...
Yeah, I named my son Elliot.
Peter wasn't named for Peter of Narnia, to be fair. But I also...
You leaned into it. You can't have not been aware of what you were doing.
I did lean into it, and I wasn't...
Well, you can't have not been aware that when you named your daughter Lucy, it's like, okay, we're going to retroactively kind of make Peter into Peter, and that's unavoidable.
I was okay with that.
Yeah.
There was a conscious decision to be okay with that. I don't mind him. I love the fact, actually, that he can read the Narnia books and be excited about identifying with... I hope he does. I hope he imitates some really great things about the High King.
Peter's great.
Yeah, Peter's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. That's an apologia for our take on Narnia.
Yeah.
I really think, people don't have to be insecure. Like, just because we point out a flaw, it's like I think people feel like if they acknowledge the flaws, then they will have to acknowledge that it is therefore bad. I think no.
Everything's got flaws.
Yeah.
Just acknowledge the flaw and then love it the same way that you already did.
But if you keep pushing back on us and trying to get us to pretend like there aren't any flaws, guess what we're gonna do? We're gonna lean that much harder into the flaws because we're not gonna accept any idolatry.
Nope.
Not from our fans.
Nope.
That's right. We are
We expect better.
We do. We expect better of us.
That's right. We're iconoclasts at heart.
Mm-hmm.
And it's good for you. And as an example, we really hit hard at Flannery O'Connor for all sorts of reasons. I just recently taught her story Greenleaf, and I had fun reading Greenleaf.
Yeah.
True or false, Brandon, you were going to do your dissertation on Flannery O'Connor.
I was going to do my dissertation on Flannery O'Connor.
Probably because you hate Flannery O'Connor, and you really hated spit. It's like the whole doctoral program was just an exercise in masochism for you hate books, hate Flannery O'Connor, so you're going to do your PhD, your dissertation on Flannery O'Connor.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how we roll.
That is exactly how I roll. I hate books. I'm out to do away with them. All. I'm the Tash of books.
Yeah, well, you've picked a heck of a podcast to be on.
Yeah. This is just
literally called
game.
Booketing, Brandon.
Tash strikes from above.
Yeah, this is reminding me. I just read
Isn't that what?
Yeah, Tash strikes from above.
Rabbit Ash.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
There's a really great Khatam Sood. It's The Haroon and the Sea of Stories by Rushdie. I just finished that book. It's really fantastic. And it's a fairy tale about this land of story and how there's this guy who, in Indian, his name means the end, and he's out trying to poison the ocean of stories. and stop all stories from existing. It's great.
And Brandon, would you support that guy or be against
Yeah, that's
that
what
guy?
I was about to say. I am Katsubsu.
You are kind of
Yeah.
okay. Well, say goodbye to both literature and the paywall people, Brandon.
Goodbye. Forever.
Bye, Jake.
Goodbye.
Bye.